So for the last few weeks, I have been living rent-free in the UK while I've been pet sitting, house sitting, and I know you all want to know how I've been finding it. You keep asking me. I keep putting up the doggy pictures and you keep asking me. If you're new to my channel, my name is Zoe. And just give you a quick recap. I sold everything that I owned in the UK in 2025, including my house, all my possessions, my car. And I wanted to go travelling full time around the world, which I did. Unfortunately, I got sick and I had to come home and come back to the UK to get treatment. I have no home to live in. I have no car. I have no possessions except for what's in one suitcase and one rucksack. And Airbnb was massively expensive. And so I had to find a way to live within my budget so I don't go completely broke before I go off travelling again. So I decided to go house/pet sitting and I joined Trusted Housesitters. So how did I find it? So actually getting onto Trusted Housesitters is very easy. You can sign up as a pet sitter or as the house owner. You fill in all your details. You pay a fee. My annual fee was 129? I think it was £129. I went for the middle tier. No, I wish I'd gone for the higher one because I would have saved more money. Come to that in a minute. But it's dead easy. You just fill in your profile, fill in, why you want a house sit, a little bit about you and your experience, put some photos up. So I talked about, was honest on there. I said that I'd gone off traveling and I also talked about when I had my doggies and a little bit about when I had a farm. And so, yeah, just put my experience up. Then once you've done all that and you've paid your fee, you can start searching for sit-in opportunities. Obviously, I was looking for ones local to where my doctors and hospitals were for most of the time, or near one of my sons at least. But honestly, it wasn't hard to find pet sitting gigs at all. And once I started applying, I got accepted for most of them straight away. I always try, so let's go back a stage. So you see the sit that you want, and it's the dates that you want. You make an application for it, and you just tell them why you want to do the sit. Reference the pets, your experience. I always say to them, I'd like to have a chat, on the video or on the phone. So make sure that I understand their dog's or cat's needs. And so they can talk to me, ask any questions. You've got a stranger in your home looking after your pets. You want to ask some questions. I don't have an issue with that. Ask what you want. And then you send that off. They come back to you. In most of my cases, we had a call, then they sent me an invitation to accept. I accept it. When I accept, because of the tier I'm on, I have to pay £9 per sit, which is why I say I wish I'd gone for the higher tier now, because I probably would have saved a few pounds. But there we go. And it really is that straightforward. A couple of, so you can save sits as well. So sometimes I was really targeting the first couple of months where I knew I was going to be here. But I was favouring some for later on, in case after my next appointment at the hospital, I still wasn't allowed to fly. I didn't realise this, but if you favourite them, the people can see that you favourited them. So I actually got messages from people asking me if what can we tell you that you'll do this sit for us. So I actually ended up with a couple more after my original dates. I didn't know that they could do that, but yes, they can. So if you favourite them, you may get contacted by them. So that was the process. That's how you do that. It really is straightforward. Now, you don't get paid for pet sitting on Trusted House Sitter. It's like a favour for a favour. I'm going to get free accommodation and look after your pets for you and look after your house while you go on holiday. And you're not going to charge me for it. And, that's all good. Now, there are pet sitting house sitting companies out there where you can get paid. And there's lots of Facebook groups where you can get paid. I just, for me, Trusted House Sitter, well, two reasons why it appealed to me is, like, you get verified when you go on there, and so do the homeowners. But also, Trusted House Sitters has house sits all over the world. So it opens up opportunities for me to go to Australia to house sit, which, as you know, I am desperate to go back to Australia at some point. But Canada, it's also quite big in Canada and the USA. And it also has European sits. So there's opportunity to travel the world and save on accommodation as well. So I thought, well, if I stay on here and I get good reviews, I actually could use it to go to some of the more expensive countries and save a little bit on accommodation. Anyway, how did it actually go? This is what you want to know, isn't it? So my first sit was at a place near Cheltenham, and it was looking after Rosie. And she was a bearded collie, and she was so beautiful. Now, I'm not showing you the houses for any of my sits because that's their homes and that's not right. And also, I'm not actually giving you the locations because, you know, that's their privacy. I respect that. So I'm not going to show you any of the homes, but the home was absolutely beautiful. It was so pristine, so clean. It had so many mod cons. I didn't even know how to work them. But my main thing was to look after Rosie. And she was just delightful. She was so obedient. She walked on the lead fine. When I took her off the lead, she came if I called her. She was just delightful. She was very cuddly on the sofa. She followed me everywhere. It couldn't have been better. Now, I was lucky because she required a long walk in the mornings and a short walk in the afternoons. Now, it's muddy here because it's not stopped raining, so it was severely muddy everywhere. So in the mornings, I would take her to this meadow place that's not far from where they lived. And she could just run around where she wanted. There was other dogs she could run around with. And she loved playing Frisbee. So we played Frisbee a lot. And we'd stay there for an hour or so. And she'd get muddy because she would also jump in all the mud puddles. Yep, she loved getting in the muddy puddles. Thankfully, they had a shower room afterwards so we could shower off. But, she was wriggly. I'm sure she was playing me up, but she was very wriggly, trying to get all this mud off her and scrub her. I mean, yeah, it was a mission. And then I had a hairdryer for her, tried to dry her as best I could, brush her out, everything. So there was a lot of grooming to do with her, but I didn't mind because she was just so adorable. I mean, I absolutely loved being with her. Then in the afternoons, I would just walk on the streets because I couldn't cope with another shower and drying. Once a day is enough. So that was sort of our routine. Now, as you know, one of my concerns was my knees were hurting or I had fatigue one day. Now, I didn't suffer with any fatigue. I seem to be coping with that all right. I don't seem to be getting the fatigue at the moment. But my last course of steroids did end about the same time as I was arriving. And after a few days, I could start to feel a niggle in my knee. I did call my rheumatologist specialist and I spoke to them about it. And they upped one of my medications but said no more steroids because they don't want it masking whether or not the current medication is working. And unfortunately, I don't think it is because by the end of the week, so the last 2 days, one of my knees particularly was extremely painful and very difficult to walk on. But I had to walk Rosie. And I could have called on friends and family. Actually, I did call on a friend for one afternoon to come and help me, which they did. It was okay in the mornings because she was happy with me like throwing the frisbee around. I wasn't we were going at a slow pace because she was running and back and forth, and it was fine. It was the last afternoon that I was with her where I had to walk on the streets that I really sort of did start feeling the pain a lot. And I was like, sadly, because I could have stayed with her forever for being with her, but I think it was a good job it was the last day, because I managed the walk, but I was in excruciating pain afterwards. And I thought, whoa, I don't know if I could have done another day here. That's something to be mindful of. And then then I moved, and I've come to a place in Wiltshire. Again, I can't tell you where I am, but I'm here, and I've got 2 cats. And now, they're different because I haven't actually, I mean, my cousin's got cats and things. And I had cats when I was younger, but I haven't had cats as an adult to look after. But actually, they're very easy. I mean, I don't have to walk them, which is great because that would be very difficult at the moment. But I have to feed them. Now, these cats, well, one of them spends most of the day pestering me to get treats. I get up in the morning and usually they're both there waiting for me at the top of the stairs to come down and feed them, so I feed them. And then I don't see one of them for the rest of the day, comes back at tea time to be fed again. But the other one, no, follows me. And if I don't give them treats, they climb all over my laptop, climb all over me, until I give up and I give them a treat. But actually, they're very cute. And they're very cuddly. Well, especially the one that follows me around all day. Very cute. Very, very sort of affectionate with me. And they're being very easy to look after. Just have to keep giving them treats. Now, how have I found it? Well, do you know what? It's great in a way because I'm still got my freedom to move around, and I'm really enjoying sort of being in different places and having these pets to take care of. And I've been very lucky because all the pets so far have been very easy to look after, and very delightful to look after. Yeah, they've all been as good as gold. So a little bit worried I haven't seen one of the cats for a while, so I may have to go out calling them in a bit because I don't want to lose anyone's pet. But so far, it's been like fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. I'm able to work, and because now when I came to this one in Wiltshire, I wanted to go to places like Stonehenge and some of the other places around here I really wanted to visit. But at the moment, my knee and the nurses have said to me, is rest, rest, rest. So I'm doing a little walk each day, but I'm back to crutches again. Oh, yeah, because I don't want to put extra weight on it and make it worse. So I haven't got anywhere really yet, but I've been, it's very comfortable here. I've got a desk. I've been doing some work, catching up on like taxes and things, making sure we're ready for the end of the tax year. When I say we, I mean me and my son, and we still have to do all the taxes for us. And I've been doing I've been working on my website, and I've been working on my YouTube and things like that. So I'm not like wasting my time, and it's really nice here because when I was in my Airbnb, I had to sit on the bed to work because the sofa was just so uncomfortable, and there wasn't a desk to sit on. Here I've got a nice desk. It's very comfy, and I can just get on with stuff. So all in all, it's been a really good experience so far, and I've still got many more sits to do. I've got lots of sits coming up actually. Now, how much money have I saved? So for this month, I would have done just over 3 weeks house sitting, and I'm doing one night this month as well for someone because I had a gap between 2. So for house sitting, it's cost me £9 for each house sit. Plus, let's say we're going to split the 129 between over 3 months. What's that? Oh dear. So what? 46 plus 27. 46 is 27. Someone help me out here. It's 40, 76. £84-ish, anyway, somewhere like that. So about just over £80 in that accommodation. But 1 week I'm staying I'm going to Wookey Hole and I've got a lodge there, and that's cost me £300 for the week. So my total accommodation cost for this month will be, I forgot what I said it was, 384, if I got my maths right, for the whole month. That's how much I will have saved. And if you think I paid, well, saved about £1,000 from last month. So that's great, isn't it? That's absolutely great. And I've had, oh gosh, sorry, I nearly knocked over the camera. And I've got to cuddle beautiful dogs and beautiful cats, and I'm having a really nice time actually, and I'm in some lovely homes. So it's all been good, all positive, loving it. Would I recommend it? Yes. And I seriously am thinking about like using this and going to Australia and Canada and using Housesitters, because they were two countries I really wanted to tour a lot of. As you know, I wanted to go back to Australia. I want to go to Canada and New Zealand at some point. Now, if I can do a lot of it through Housesitters, it might make it feasible, you know, because they're not cheap countries, are they? Anyway, all food for thought. That's how, anyway. You wanted to know how it was going? There you go. It's fantastic. I'm loving it. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Ciao.